some
will be.
kombucha?
Yeah, I will be here, I'm sure, and we'll catch you later. Bye.
Cool. Thanks, Michael. All right, everyone, welcome. I invited Brad and Russell from Green Clean in Australia over to give us a little talk about what they're doing, basically for both countries. But at first, before we start, I would like to give you all a bit of an overview of the background of the work that Brad and Russell are doing. I've only joined lately, but I think I have an unfair advantage that I speak and understand German. The technology they're working with was developed by Urs Wirth in Germany. He based a lot of his work on Wilhelm Reich's previous work, Schauberger and so on. There's quite a few people that got interested in the weather and what to do with it or how to unblock it and help people that are in need of either relief from rain or more rain for their crops. So all started in 2015, if I remember right. And at that time, till about 2018, Germany and Central Europe was under really heavy attack with the attempt to turn that area into a desert. Blocking any natural weather movement and ramping up the drought and heat in summer. And he managed with pretty simple. Tim, can you mute yourself, please? Oh, thank you. And managed with pretty simple technology to break the artificially created weather patterns. And by now they have pretty much nullified what's being put out over Europe. They have reactivated big bodies of water. Pretty much all the main rivers in Europe are back in their natural frequency and working again as a resonance body for the weather above. They have gone into Africa. I just saw a video today on his Telegram channel where in Namibia a river started flowing again after they broke a drought pattern there that had lasted for decades. So pretty awesome. They've gone into Mongolia, the Gobi Desert, and Brad and Russell did an interview with Urs. I put that into our group chat, the worldwide chat and the Tanga chat. If you had a chance, that's one of the few interviews with him in English. Well done, Brad. That was really good. Yeah, he is a very, what shall I say, self-educated but rather awake guy. And a lot of his second field of expertise, as I understand it, is more or less the healing arts or the ancient healing arts. So mending broken bones in less than a day and that kind of stuff. And yeah, stuff that's really happening. Yeah, I'm rather excited about it. I've done a bit of work already around Northland and Northern Auckland with activating bodies of water. And also neutralizing a few of those antenna towers that work in, what should I say, synchron with the spraying that's happening. And yeah, on that note, I would also like to say that a lot of the stuff that Urs has put out, the technologies, is free or extremely cheap to facilitate. And this is not to counteract what Brad and Russell are doing. They're running a business. They're also offering other devices that are not free. But I was really surprised when Brad sent me the first stuff. There were 2 free blocks in there to activate the Kaipara Harbor or Whangarei Inlet and a whole bunch of activated glass marbles to activate or harmonize the rivers around the place and bodies of water. By now, all our feed water troughs have activated stones in it, and the place is slowly starting to feel much better. So anyway, with that said, I'll open the mic to Brad and hand it over.
Ask everyone, Renee, to shut off their mics so Brad can have a free go without being interrupted.
That would be good. Yes, I'll go through and so don't be offended if I mute you. Cool. Brad, do you want to take over?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. So I'm Brad Sparley from Green Clean in Australia and New Zealand. And we're a non-for-profit organisation. And our purpose is to harmonise the environment, remove stagnation, and counteract different forms of geoengineering.
Brad, you've got some really strong echoing going on in the background.
It was Russell's mic was open. So Russell, I muted you because the echo is coming from two mics in the same area.
Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. So the reason why I started this is because in Sydney, where I live, there was a lot of stagnation. There was hazy skies, shitloads of chemtrails. My grass was going yellow. My trees were dying. And I was working on the water at the time. I had a boat cleaning business, and I was always looking at the sky, and I could see the weather manipulation. I looked into it. I found out what was happening, and I wanted to do something about it. So I was originally looking at the cloud busters, but lucky a friend showed me a video of ERS and Nature Harmony stations, and me and my friend, we purchased the three devices. We got the 2.0, the Orgone beam, and the 3.0. Within 1 day of setting up the devices, we had rain for 3 days, and it was good, medium, light rain. It basically replenished all the land, and from then on, we've had regular rain on average 2 times a week. The sky's been back to blue, not so much haze anymore. A general feeling of harmony, more wildlife coming in, more different birds, insects, a lot more insects I hadn't seen before, and dew in the mornings, which is also good for the garden. Now all my grass is green. The garden's pumping. Yes, they're still spraying, but their effect doesn't last for long. So they're obviously spraying to either bring rain or stop rain, and they're still trying that at times. But we've had periods of 2 weeks where there's no chemtrails. And I put that down to the fact that we have 3 large-scale activations in a triangle in Sydney, and they're obviously wasting a lot of money trying to achieve results which they aren't always getting. So we've seen amazing changes in Sydney, and much better weather, much more rain, but we have activated all the waters in Sydney, pretty much all of them, and we have got 3 large-scale setups, and we've done the same up in Byron Bay, Northern Rivers region where Russell's from, and we've got 6 setups there, and a lot of water's activated. And once again, it's been raining regularly. The creeks are much more full. The rivers are flowing much better. There's still chemtrails and a lot of geoengineering happening, but they're having a very hard time doing it. And we've had a really good results here in the Northern Rivers where I am today. And yeah, we've got some stations set up in WA and in Queensland, and already a lot happening in New Zealand as well. I took a trip over to New Zealand and I did a talk near Lower Hutt, and I spoke for a whole bunch of people. Those people ended up purchasing the devices, and we've made some great changes over there in New Zealand. A lot that Renee's also been a part of activating the waters, and yeah, it's a very heart-focused mission that we're doing with intention to remove the stagnation and to bring back the natural balance again. So all this these chemtrails, they've been causing stagnation in the water, and the water's lost its potential to resonate with the clouds as well as the trees. In nature, normally trees call out for rain, and if there's too much stagnation, that doesn't happen. So what we're doing with the nature harmony stations is we're creating resonance. So the harmony stations can communicate with the clouds and bring rain when needed. So I've got Russell here. Russell's my partner. He's been working with different energy devices and harmonizers for 30 years. So he's going to speak a bit about what the Orgone generators do and how they do it.
Okay. Good. Got a bit of an echo there. Maybe I'll turn mine on. You turn yours off. Yeah. Okay. That's it. That's better. You guys all hear me? Yep. All good? Okay. So if you've done any study with on Wilhelm Reich or Trevor Constable, they were the two of the main people that actually got the information out there and utilised it. Trevor Constable continued Reich's work. He was able to change weather patterns in 15 minutes, like from a high pressure system to full-blown raining, heavily raining clouds. So that's the potential of what we're hoping to be able to do, but not on a manipulative level. We're not wanting to manipulate the weather like the other guys do. We just want to bring back the natural patterns. That's my big thing. I'm just very interested in the natural patterns of nature because we've probably never lived our lives in any normal form of nature, because that's how long the manipulation has been going on. Trevor Constable did his work back in the 40s, I think it was. And so what they're now using in the oceans and on the land is some of Trevor's work. So he sort of did us a service, but a disservice at the same time, because they got the information as well as us. But it does appear that when the systems are set up, the weather's just beautiful. Like we set our system up and we've just gone into our wet season, which is starts in December. And we set our unit up a week before Christmas, and we've just had beautiful rain, just magnificent rain, really gentle for days and days and days. So gentle rain getting in deep. That's just fantastic that we've got that result so quickly here, because they were threatening to burn us out again in this area. But then all of a sudden it started to rain, and so ain't going to burn now. She's well and truly wet. So do any of you have you studied any of Reich's work? His work was profound, just profound. Yeah, very good. And so what he discovered is if you create these layers, steel, steel, wool, and say wool, steel, wool, organic, inorganic, inorganic. When you create enough layers of that, what ends up happening is you get a buildup of charge in the units. And what happens is they don't seem to send the energy out of the unit. They send it in, and it goes into the pipe and therefore goes out and around. So you're creating a toroidal field around basically all of these devices. They all charge up. So Reich built a thing called an Orgone accumulator that was a little cupboard, and people would sit in that cupboard and eradicate their cancer. like doctors were sending the go home and die people to him, and they wouldn't die. So we're talking about a very, and then they destroyed all of his gear and put him in jail and basically killed him in jail. So obviously it's a very, very strong technology that we all need to get on board with and really get it out there and moving, because it's so powerful from what I've noticed so far. And of course the balls and the blocks, they also create resonance in the creeks and in the ocean. This being a block, little small thing about 3 inches across, 4 inches long, and it pulses, constantly pulsing. You throw it in the water, in the ocean, and it actually pulses right out for 20 k's each way. And what happens is the ocean cools slightly and all the fish come back in. And that creates a resonance in the water that then sends a resonant frequency up to the cloud level, which again helps bring the proper rain in. The balls, they're just simple little 10 mil spheres. Just a wee little sphere. It's only 10 millimeters, and they've all got they're made of a special glass, borosilicate. And what it does is they then give it a big plasma bolt, just a big charge. And what happens from there is that they then start to pulse as well. And they'll clean 2K of the creek downstream from it, unless it's tidal, and then it works both ways, goes up and down the creek. And again, these are creating resonance again. So they're enhancing the work we're doing with the harmonizers. Anything else at that point? No? Okay. So that's if you've got any questions about that, please speak up.
No questions at this point. So I will speak some more about the different devices.
There was a question.
Brett, Jono and Laura have their hand up.
Oh, yep.
God.
Yeah, I've got a question. Sounds very amazing, and would love to give it a go. Where do we get this stuff from?
Skip right to that.
Yeah, get right to it.
So
Yeah,
so we've got a website which I've shared on the notes, and I'm the guy that you'll be talking to, and we've got Remy and Jean, which we'll chat to soon. They're going to be set up as South Island distributors in the next month, but in the meantime, I've got some products ready to go, and I'll speak about those products after these questions, so you can know more about what's suited, and we can have them off to you, yeah, very soon. Any more questions?
Kevin had his hand up.
Yeah, just a sort of a silly question. Are you guys looking at registering a grid search of these resonators? You don't want I'm in Hastings, New Zealand. You don't want 1,000 of these all bunched in Hastings resonating. Does it matter if there's a lot of resonating in one area? Oh,
Kevin?
Great. Thank you.
Kevin, you're looking at an open street map that's on ORSA's, the link is on ORSA's website. I was about to type in Auckland because I've been dropping stuff into bodies of water around here, and I'm making sure I'm not overdoing it, you know, or where someone, I think it was Brad himself, who dropped a few blocks in Auckland Harbor. So I'm continuing from there. Hang on, I'm just zooming out. New Zealand is pretty pristine still. But yeah, we have a map. There is a team in Germany that you can via Telegram report to and also ask for help. where to best place stuff. I see
Yeah.
that blue one that's just loading. That is activated by a block
Yeah.
in Orgone. Over.
So this is the water, the activated water. So we have the map so that we don't double up on the activated water, just so we don't waste the blocks. And the blocks, we give them away for free with purchasing, as well as the balls. This is is service to nature, and people get involved by putting these in. As for the harmony stations, it doesn't matter if you've got 20 in one suburb, because it's like having a large forest and it's going to create lots of resonance. It's going to work much stronger. So the more of these things we got, the better. You can't have too many of these things. It's not going to start flooding, for example, if there's lots of them. You're actually just strengthening the field. So it's all torus field energy coming off here. Orgone is life force energy, chi, prana, all these things. A lot of people don't understand because they can't see it. They don't know what life force energy is, or spirit, or resonance. So we're only speaking to the people who are awake and conscious and aware of spirit and energy in different forms. Yeah, so I'm going to go on now to the different devices. Everyone still hear me, yeah?
Yes, yep.
Okay. So this is a 3.0. This is a 3-kilometer torus field, generating clouds, rain when needed, removing stagnation, clearing up the chemtrails. So when the chemtrails come over and spray, what they're spraying becomes harmonized. So it's not putting a bad impact on our land, our plants, and our water. This guy is mobile. You just put a centimeter of water in the bottom. Good for people who travel around, live in an apartment, or just want an easy home harmonizer. It gets rid of the EMF. Yeah, and it's also a healing device. There's a whole list of healing and creams that you can make from this device. And on Telegram, there's a group called Urza Cream, and that has a whole community of 3,000 people which use this for healing. So you can remove inflammation, back pain, so on and so forth with the Orgone energy. Next, we have an Orgone beam. Now, this is 40 kilometers, very, very powerful, good at clearing up the sky, getting rid of those chemtrails and that haze. If you team it up with this guy, you're doing 50 kilometers. So 3 kilometers, 40 kilometers, or 50 kilometers. Now, these two, it's called large scale activation, bringing rain, clouds. It'll change a whole region's weather, depending on the stagnation there, how much, chemtrails there are, and so on and so forth. So organ beam and the 3.0. Now, we've got a new product, which is for those who have small properties, or they're on a budget and they want to get a harmonizer. This is the mini home harmonizer. This one does 3 kilometers and it fills up with water, supercharged, potent, structured water, Agnihotra. It's grounded into the earth or via a power point, and it's also a drinking fountain for animals. Now, animals love drinking out of these 2.0s and the mini home harmonizers because it's Orgone energy. It's potent. It's like the animals can feel it more than we can. And I catch my cat, Russell catches his cat drinking out of it all the time. So it's great to put in the home, on the veranda, and so on and so forth. Now I'm going to share some of the bigger 2.0s, which are the main sellers. they're earthed and grounded into your land. And I'm just gonna try and share the screen. Oh, it says that, oh, there we go. We got one there. So that's a 2.0. It's about 1.5 meters high, and it goes in a bucket, and it's also a feature in the garden, and helps your plants grow, makes the grass green, blocks out the EMF, removes the stagnation, the powerful orgone generator, and also with this, you'll get 50 kilometers, up to 80, depending on the person's intention, how clear their mind is. It's important to, use your heart and your intention, and to manifest what you want out of it as well. Yes, they work on their own without any of that, but it all adds to it with intention. Top of that, we've got spirit necklaces. These dock into your body's torus field, and they do 10 meters, and that's also got a chip that gets rid of the EMF as well. So great at protecting yourself from 5G. Many healing benefits. Some people have to take them off at night because they're so powerful. You can also put it on, say, your sore back. These are a great little necklaces. We've got some Robo balls, which are healing balls. You can stick them on your body. You can also put them in water to structure and harmonize your water. And yeah, you can do many things with those as well. So they're the different range of products that we have. And I'm going to take it over now to the Agnihotra brothers, because Agnihotra is a secret component to all these devices. There's Agnihotra inside. So it's sending Orgone energy, Agnihotra energy out to the sky. Agnihotra is an ancient ritual that I believe it's about 7,000 years old. It was found in the Book of Vedas, and it's a practice done on sunset or sunrise with a mantra, and it also harmonizes the environment and great for your health. So I'll put you over to the Agnihotra brothers, Jean and Remy.
Hey, Tom has a question.
Yeah, no, great to have you guys on. Just when you said it neutralizes the 5G and the chemtrails and stuff, do we have actual proof that it actually does neutralize it? And if it does it work on mother-in-laws?
Yeah,
We don't have one.
it's hard to prove the fact that what they're spraying, which we don't completely know the ingredients for, is becoming harmonized. But what they're spraying is no good for the environment, and we're blasting it with Orgone energy. So as it's coming down, it's harmonizing it. We can't measure that. It's all happening in the air in an unseen way. The way you can measure it is by looking at the land, looking at the grass, your trees. How are your trees going? Are they thriving, or they look like they're dying? Because I know that the chemtrails, as they were doing, were destroying the plants, the veggies, the water. So yeah, it takes the silica out of your veggies, out of the water, and areas are becoming stagnant. So it's a feeling and it's visual, but we haven't got anything to say, here's how it's working, but it's working, and this is happening all over the world. We've got a whole community of people that have devices, and they're coming together on Telegram, and lots of testimonials. We've got organic farms that have seen improvements, and when we chat to the Agnihotra guys, they're also playing a part in this neutralizing as well. Is there any other questions before we go to them?
I just want to say something about what I heard Urs reporting and others, Hubert Schmidt as well, that they noticed a definite clearing of the air So they put it down that the high beams highly likely disturb or dismantle whatever is being sprayed, and actually the visibility starts being much farther on the ground, and the air cleaner, and then with the harmonization of the stations, you get insects again and birds and so on. So, you know, so far. And also people that have been harmonizing wind turbines, I'm happy to talk about that. That is a very simple technology. But in Europe, Germany is littered with those suckers, including Denmark. Yeah, go ahead, Brad. So, and they figured when they got there to one of those wind turbines, the height of the crops around them, like maize, was maybe 1 meter high. After they had harmonized them with lead particles that have been boiled in Agnihotra water, they came back a month later and the maize was really tall and thriving. So this suction of energy from the land through the wind turbines had ceased, and nature got back into more balance. Anyway, now Brad has disappeared on us. Sure, he's getting us something.
Okay, that's good. There is a
Gina?
few questions.
Gina, do you want to go?
Sorry?
Gina has her hand up.
Yeah,
Oh.
just to say, I got those old Orgone pyramids that we had 20, 30 years ago, and I got them in each corner of the house. And the house is surrounded by paddocks. And where those Orgone pyramids are, that's where the cattle likes to rest. And I think the cattle they don't understand about the Orgone pyramids, so I would take that as proof that Wilhelm Reich's Orgone theory works, if that is of any help to you.
No, that's absolutely correct. Oh, all right. Shirley, to everyone, I have a set of instructions and support from the folk that built them recently, but keen to hear the cost of ready-made. Brad?
Yeah. So in terms of cost, we may as well cover all of the costs while we're answering this question. Prices are in Australian dollars, so there will be obviously the difference of New Zealand and Australia dollars, and add on shipping to this as well. So this 3.0 is $700 Australian. That's the healing device and mobile harmony station, 3 kilometers. The Orgone beam is $780. Together, they're doing 50 kilometers, large scale activation, a great way to change a whole region. And you can see this happening within an hour or two of setting it up. You'll see the fluffy clouds come over, a light breeze, and it's great fun witnessing for yourself the change. As for the mini home harmonizer, $500 plus shipping. And then the bigger one, the 2.0, which is in my left there, and that goes in the bucket in the ground. That's probably the most popular unit. That one does 5Ks on its own. That one is $600 plus shipping for a kit, and you can build it yourself. We give you guys instructions. Otherwise, it's shipped and sent around $1,200, depending on whether you need the bucket or not. Otherwise, the layers and everything's done on the pole, and then we can install it as well for a fee, depending on where you're at. So the necklaces are $170, and the balls and the blocks are for free with any purchase. So for those who think that it might sound like a bit of money, we're actually a non-for-profit. We're running very lean, and the money that we make is spent doing talks and cinemas, driving around Australia, flying to New Zealand, traveling, you name it, advertising, marketing. There's a lot that goes into this. I'm working full-time on it. Russell's pretty much full-time as well. And in our spare time, we're activating waters, answering questions, educating people, and putting our heart and soul into this. Any more questions before we go over to the Agnihotra guys?
I have one.
Robin, yeah.
Yes. Okay, this is Robin.
Robin?
So I'm getting my head around if you've got like the mini home harmonizer and you've got it just a suburban section, say in town city. So does it just work in your property, or does it work in the neighbouring property? How does that go? So
yeah, basically it's just going to do the distance, and whoever's in that radius, they get it.
okay then, all right then.
Yeah.
And you were saying about the rains and everything else. I mean, we haven't this summer, but last summer was just continuous rain. So does it stop the rain as well as create the rain? Does it give us normal weather?
Harmonisation, balance. Ultimately, remember, this has been going on for 70 odd years.
Yeah, longer.
Right? So it's not going to change straight away. Because we're trying to bring the natural patterns back. And so it's going to take a little bit of time. So it doesn't happen instantly, although when we set the one up here, it happened instantly. But I've also got all sorts of other booger booger things happening.
Okay. And one last question. So when it does rain, that water is lovely, clear, drinkable, free of nasties?
Yes.
Yes.
And I'll add to that. So when they're trying to flood an area, or for example, Sydney right now, they announced on the news a rain bomb. And they told us a week in advance there's going to be a rain bomb. Is that not suspicious? Anyway, within the radius of the Harmony stations, it's medium rain. You go outside the radius, it's pouring down. So it mitigates the bad storms coming through. Sometimes, yes, we get heavy rain, but it's not like flooding rain. And yes, the water is good water that you'd want in your creeks and your dams.
And drinkable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drinkable.
Thank you, guys. Awesome.
So
You've muted both of you, sir. Russell, you're
Yeah. Yeah, so we had a shaman in the area, a lady, and she is always talking to the weather and all of that sort of thing. And she said that her pendulum was telling her now that the rain is absolutely beautiful and it's good for you. It's good enough to drink. Where before the station was set up, it was just you wouldn't go near drinking the rainwater. But now, absolutely beautiful. So, you know, the beams in particular really have a good action, a really good action on the weather and clearing the chemtrails. And when I say clearing the chemtrails, it's not taking them away, but it's not allowing them to do the damage that they were doing. So it's what's the word? As the chemicals fall down, the beam and the whole entire setup that we have is actually making the particles, it's taking the charge out of the particles so that they fall to the ground like dead, so they can't react with your soil any longer. Right, now someone asked, is this that the ground's very dry despite a lot of rain? Now that's a classic chemtrail reaction. When the chemtrails hit the ground, they do something, they react with the soil, and it almost doesn't make a hard surface, but it's like it makes a hard surface and the water just flows off and doesn't go in. That's indicative of a positively charged rain. What you're wanting, what we're creating, is negatively charged rain, and that's proper water. It should always have a negative charge. When the ocean is murky, it's got a positive charge, and when it's clear, it has a negative charge.
Yeah, so people don't get confused with that. We've essentially been told that a battery, the plus is the positive charge. It's actually opposite. Negative side of the battery is what's doing all the work. So just so you don't get confused there, that it's actually a bit of a mix up. Now I noticed a question. 6 folk, or maybe not a question, but 6 folk in North Canterbury have made huge chem busters recently, still trailing them. Extremely dangerous working with chem busters. Russell will talk about the dangers of that, and Urs also speaks about that. You can find some information in the video that I did with Urs on YouTube, but don't recommend it at all. Can be very dangerous to the environment. Russell, would you like to talk?
Yeah. So what the issue there is that the devices aren't generally grounded, and so what happens is they get charged up, and they do work initially, but eventually they get fully charged up with positive charges, and then they don't do their job anymore. Now, I've been contemplating this for a few weeks now, and I'm thinking that if you built those sort of devices, what you want to do is have a wire coming out of the bottom of them so that they're actually grounded because I've heard lots of people say they're great, but I haven't talked to them about it as to whether they're continuing to be great. The important thing is to ground these units into the earth, because they'll just get highly charged with positive charge, and then they're not going to do any good for you.
In some cases, the cloud busters have caused extreme flooding, hail, and so on. So we're not getting that with the nature harmony stations. We're stopping that. So working with nature, with resonance rather than manipulating. Let's go over to the Agnihotra guys. Guys, you there?
A couple more questions, if we could just, while you're here, we've got Jane. Can you
Yeah.
Jane?
Can we come back to Jane and go to the Agnihotra guy?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Jane.
yes, it looks like you can hear me.
Oh, here she is.
Just sidetracking slightly from water, but still sticking with nature harmony. Do these organ generators have any effect on these alien 5D resonators that in New Zealand, especially, I don't know about Australia, that they put on the top of every street light, those little bobble things on the street lights? Do they have any effect on those? Can they neutralize those?
Yes. Yeah, basically yes, because there's a chip in these devices, and that chip is it's resonating out from the device, And that particular chip is designed to not allow those sort of things to be present in the space of the unit. And the other thing to do is to get the little lead shots, boil them in Agnihotra water, and then put them around the space that seems to have a feeling tone to it, and they seem to fix it quite remarkably, according to Urs.
Yeah. No, I welcome having a look at the instructions and following up on it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, on the, if you guys want to join the Australian and New Zealand Telegram group, I'll share a diagram of the lead pellets boiled in Agnihotra water around the towers, harmonizing the tower. But what the chip does, that's in each and every one of these, all of our devices, it basically changes from bad affecting frequency into good. So yes, your answer is it does extremely help with 5G. Agnihotra guys, Jean and Remy.
Jane might like to try her mic again. I don't know.
Oh,
yeah, we hear. You can hear us.
Yeah. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, how's it going, everyone? Hey, Brad.
hey, buddy.
Yeah, so we just want to introduce you. I'm Remy, and this is my brother Jean. And I'm not too sure if everyone is actually familiar with what Agnihotra is. That it is an ancient Vedic ceremony. I'm not too sure if people are actually familiar with the ceremony itself. So I just want to say a few things about it. What Agnihotra it works with vortex energy. Vortex is comprehend nature and copy nature, like Wilhelm Reich, Victor Schauberger. So nature can clean itself through spin, through vortex energy. And when we light up the Agnihotra fire, which is in the copper pyramid, which is the energy conductor, conducts the ether energy or Orgone energy. It pulls it into the 0 point, it vortex spirals it out again. So this is bringing energy in, purifying it out through plasma, through the element of fire.
Kilometers high in the sky and down back to the.
So it goes up into the ionosphere, which is the highest sphere, and then it purifies like a vortex. It creates a biodome. So in this biodome, everything is in the particles. It's harmonized and purified. So when you were talking about the chemtrails before, they're normally in the nanoparticle state, but they're in flux. So you have an Orgone beam, Orgone energy, or Agnihotra, which creates vortex. So you have a vortex. In this vortex, everything is purified because nature is purifying itself through vortex spin and through the fire of plasma or Orgone energy. So it's self-cleansing. If we support nature and can comprehend how nature can clean itself, the same as our body can clean itself. We have to work with the right tools, and we have to work with the ether energy and support the ether, or heal the atmosphere, and the atmosphere will heal us again.
And with Agnihotra, we go with the biorhythm of sunset and sunrise, and we are burning cow dung. So we have animal sanctuary, and this is bio cow dung. So this is the poo of the cows, and this will be burned in the pyramid by sunset and sunrise to the exact time. We sing a mantra and we offer a rice. And you can do it in the morning and at night time. And as more you do it and as more you practice it, as stronger the field is. When you are practicing it less, the field just slowly gets a little bit less.
You're a little bit hard to hear. You need to move closer to the microphone.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So by burning the cow dung has a powerful tool of cleansing. It has gases. And there are gases, they are called noble gases, and they heal the atmosphere a lot. So nature is more powerful than the artificial, what humans try to create to bring stagnation in nature and to bring nature out of harmony. With these tools, with Orgone tools or with Agnihotra, we bring nature back into its original state, which is harmony, which is balance. When nature is in balance, it will always clean itself and will look after itself. We are here as guardians to support nature on this journey because we are living in the time of pollution. So we are thinking about solutions now. And I think information and education is very important when it comes to simple tools like this. It should be all for free, all available. So everyone knows what actually Orgone is, how nature works, how we can support it. And does it work? Does it help? Then you have to watch and observe and study yourself and share the knowledge. Because so many people are doing it, seeing great results, so do we. And then you have to share it so more people can do it. So with the ash, we can activate the waters and harmonize the waters or create any medicine. Yeah. It has 82 minerals after the ceremony in it. And in every tool, in every device of Spears is Agnihotra ash.
And you can purify your water with it and
purify the water
give
with
it. Back to your plant in your garden, give it to your sick animals in your drinking water, it purifies the water, put it in
Can't
your water.
hear you. Can't hear you.
Oh yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, better.
So you can give it to your plants. You can purify your water at home with it, with the ash. You just drop the ash into it. Just a little sprinkle. It's enough. And it remineralizes the water as well, but it carries all elements. Over 90 elements.
So to bring it back to the basic, I think it's all about solutions, and there are solutions to reverse their artificial skies, their artificial weather, and their artificial patterns to the weather. So the power is really back to us when we can comprehend Orgone or ether energy working with the atmosphere and the charge within the atmosphere. And rain has a negative charge. So it's actually charged energy that comes from the sky down to the ground so things can grow again. It's a symbiosis within nature between positive charge and negative charge. If we are grounded and barefoot, we get a negative charge. If we are at the waterfall, we get a negative charge. So it charges us. So it's very important that it's actually rain is coming after we activated waters or we activated the atmosphere. The rain is like a communicator that it works. It brings energy back to the ground, like a forest would do. So yeah, if anyone has any questions or anything to say, you can go ahead, and I just don't want to.
I'll ask Jane's question, which was relating previously. She said it harmonizes the streetlight domes, so assuming it harmonizes the smart meters too?
Well, you have to see it in waves and frequencies. So 5G is a short wave. It's like a weaponry they can use. And Agnihotra or Orgone, it harmonizes the frequency of the wave. So it harmonizes the wave.
Overrides it.
Or higher frequency cancel out lower frequencies. So these lower frequencies won't have power anymore. They're overwritten from the harmonious frequencies within the atmosphere, within your own vortex or biodome, wherever you are.
Because your own aura will be so strong that it cannot affect your body anymore. But you are radiating so much, it can't affect. It's so
it's very hard to hear that guy to your right. It's very hard to hear him. If you
Can
he center himself in the camera a wee bit more?
Yes.
Yep,
He said more or less your own body is also an Orgone beam. It has a vortex. So also if you have a strong, subtle body to your physical body, you will also can deal with the 5G much better. But yeah, that's more or less it.
Yeah, so my question is, are you guys making medicine with the Agnihotra ash, and if you're making medicine, how you're taking it and how are you making it?
So we make so Agnihotra ash, because it's made through a ceremony. It's quite a medicinal product, but the product is given for free from nature. So we only give it away for free or make ointments with the cream, and we use ghee as a carrier. The fat is a carrier. And the Agnihotra ash has a highly magnetic charge too, and it has all minerals. So if you would take it internally, the ghee would take it to the weakest point of your body and flood it with minerals and also a plasma charge. It has a very high Borbus, so it works also with the subtle body together. Or it heals bleedings instant. If you put the dry ash on any bleed, and we saw very bad bleeds at animals too, it stops the bleeding straight away.
Or rashes on your skin, sunburns. Or, you know, when you're burned as well, it will heal it very fast. You know, the healing power is much faster when you use the Agnihotra on your wound or on your cut. Okay.
And you can also, with the NHS 3.0, it sends out a subtle Orgone beam. You can charge the ash with the ghee and put the Orgone energy into it as well.
72 seconds.
72 seconds over any cream, and then they are charged. And you can use them for internal uses, external uses, for your babies, for animals, whatever. It's yeah, I don't want to say the most powerful healing thing, but it's very, very powerful for the human body.
Choice. Yeah, thank you.
And also, whoever's vaccinated, it reverses vaccine damage a lot too.
And
Luxa.
Yeah, Luxa, do you want to talk?
we go. Yeah, Isa would like to ask a question.
yeah,
Fire away.
I have a couple of questions, if that's okay. So the first one regarding the Agnihotra. So when you purchase one of the devices, do we also get the instructions on how to do this ritual, the ceremony?
Yes, absolutely. And I would say what's even more important is information and education. So if we would say that to someone, it's a responsibility.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of power with creating your own medicine, but also healing the atmosphere. Once you will start doing it, you see how nature will respond to it. It's quite significant.
Okay.
But we would also give education away for free. So we would just have a meeting like this or something, and we would give you all the insights about the practice and how to do it. Also create medicine for yourself and purify water. It cleans it also. Every body of water, Agnihotra ash cleans.
And in our region where we live in Christchurch, we do workshops and seminars, and people can, you know, write us personally. They can visit our farm. They can see the results where we live as well. So, you know, just text us.
Okay, cool. Thank you. The other question that I had was regarding the, I don't know, the nearly 2 meter device that you guys have created, or that you guys are selling for the $600 to do the kit. Just hypothetically, if you had like a small deck and you put 4 on each, like 1 on each corner, would that be too much in such a small amount of space? Like, do you have to have them spread out a little bit?
ideally, if you've got 4 devices, it would be more beneficial to put them further away.
Okay.
But also by having 4 in the same space, the way that Urs describes it, it's like having trees next to each other. The more
Okay.
trees, the more resonance, the more it helps the environment. So there's not a matter of having too many of these in the one spot. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that does. Thank you. And then just the last one, I read on your website that like how you guys were saying before about putting in the intention to have that radiate out into the environment. So like, is there specific coding that you guys, like, if you're wanting to formulate your own intention for that area, are we able to program it, I guess, in a certain way for the purpose that we're wanting to use it for? Because I don't know, I've been looking into Orgone energies, and I was thinking of creating 4 po on the corners of the deck, to then create that in a pyramid kind of a structure energetically with a cornerstone, to then funnel out the intent for the benefit of everything. So seeing your guys' technology over the last 24 hours, I'm really grateful for, one, because it's kind of looking a lot more precise than what I've seen with the other tech, with like what you guys were talking about with the cloud busters and things like that. So I'm just wondering, if you are going to program it, how do you do that? Is that mainly just through the ceremony that you do with the Agnihotra, or is it another way of programming those points?
Yes. Well, Agnihotra, during ceremony, when you do the mantra, you're in this undeniable meditation. Those who struggle with meditation will notice the feeling. And when you're in that state, yes, you can say your prayers, your intention then.
Okay.
Also, the Agnihotra is going to cleanse and purify you, which is another thing that I like to do before setting my intention, is to do an energy clearing, to do some breath work, to swim in the ocean, to cleanse yourself with an aura cleanse, so your field's free. And then from that state, you're in that high vibration, you can create, you can manifest. As for the Orgonite, please check out the YouTube video with Urs. He speaks about Orgonite, and a lot of those pyramids that are out there, they're beautiful to look at, but after a while they create stagnation, and actually start putting off DOR, which is deadly orgone radiation.
Yeah, no, I've researched into that, and I was really grateful to hear that on the YouTube clip that I watched earlier today. He instantly went into that, how it can be damaging. And so that's why I haven't gone ahead with it, because about the DOR and the poor energy coming through. And if you don't know the tech well enough and you don't make it precise enough, then it can do the opposite effect of what you're wanting to create. So this is why I'm thanking you guys for this information, because it's like, good. Thanks.
No, I almost did the same thing. I almost bought a cloud buster and an Orgonite pyramid, and something was telling me that something wasn't right, and then I found Nature Harmony Station. So it's an easy thing to be led down that path, not knowing.
Well, thank you very much.
It's all right, no worries. Yeah, thanks for providing that link there, Rennie. So on the chats now, we've got the website, we've got the YouTube video, we've got the Telegram group, we've got the email. Any further questions that aren't answered tonight, or if you want to purchase or whatever, just go there and you can check it all out. Any other questions?
Been going well.
Don't be shy now. Come on. We won't think you're silly. We're silly.
Just want to say, because we haven't really put some extra time into it with the Agnihotra, and there's one thing in my understanding, that we have the devices, either self-built or purchased, but then there's also a way of really harmonizing things that have happened in the environment, like a tower being built that radiates the hell out of the whole area, or wind turbines or so on. And lead shot from air rifles are quite handy when boiled in Agnihotra water. So 11 of those babies in a circle around one of those towers. With a wind turbine, it's 11 plus 2, because there's one 5 meter and 10 meter away to be placed. You find that on ORS's website. It's the energieprodukte.org. I have it higher in the chat here. Maybe download the chat and look up later. there's a graphic there how to place them when you want to harmonize a wind turbine. So, and since it's now getting a few more of us, what they're doing in Europe or Germany, they write Agnihotra on the turbine, on the stem, and make a little mark if there's a door. So the next one coming along knows, oh shit, someone has been here, I'll leave that one alone. I don't need to do it again. Also a story with a freshly built cell phone tower. And the lady living nearby said, oh, fuck this. So she put 11 lead pellets around it in Agnihotra water. Next day, a digger was there scraping away the topsoil. She said, all right, I got more lead, put another round there, digger comes back. So she won in the end because the foundation got a bit too exposed for them to carry on. So yeah, interesting. It seems to be working and they notice.
Yeah. And another thing is, for those who want to get involved with activating waters, that alone does wonders. Christine from Lower Hutt in New Zealand put a block in the harbour. I can't remember where it was, but somewhere there in New Zealand. And she saw the clouds come over within half an hour and dramatic changes. So just this alone, all the balls making huge difference. So it's important that when people do that, they drop the pin on Google. So they'd go into Google Maps or Apple Maps and you would zero down on the location, the creek, the river, the body of water. You would drop the pin and share the pin. So that way we can log all those maps that Renee showed before. As well as if you do get a device, send us the location. Doesn't have to be exact house. But send us the area so we can start to see what areas have been done. But ideally we want, we've got one in what's it called? Napier, and it's the only one in the whole area. And that area is getting targeted. So we need to build up grids so the power of the resonance stronger. And when they target the area, it's going to hold up. It's going to counteract it and balance it. They might spray all day. Come next morning, the fluffy clouds are back. The air's moving the shit away and the stagnation and the dews on the ground and just feeling of harmony. So anyone that doubts it, we've got lots of testimonials from organic farmers to public figures, and happening, I think there's about 20,000 of these around the world now. And it's very new in Australia and New Zealand. It's only been 6 months since I set this up to be a bridge for us to have a solution. There's all these groups, Telegram pages, Facebook pages, everyone's sharing trails in the sky and pictures and all that, but without actually doing the solution, like we're just feeding the problem with fear, gossip and stuff like that. Now I've been that guy before and I've done it, so I don't mean any offense to people that do that, but now that I know there's something I can do, I'm doing it, and I'm making sure that I can help, because without people getting amongst it and involved, what are we relying on? And we need to have, yes, intention, but we need tools and tricks and ways of helping. And that's what we're informing you guys about today. So Agnihotra, super affordable way to get into it. And our devices are affordable too, and change the whole area. So you're not only doing it for yourself, you're doing it for the animals, you're doing it for your neighbors, and you're doing it for all the people that don't even believe in any of this. Any more questions? No,
Yes,
it's getting
Luxa.
late over there for you guys.
Luxa, do you want to go?
Hi, it's me again.
hi, Lisa.
I can't see you, by the way.
Our camera's covered, sorry.
Oh, right.
It's not, the camera doesn't function on this computer, in fact.
Oh, fair enough.
So with the little drop blocks and the beads, like you said that you can get them free with purchases, but can you
Yeah.
buy them separately as well?
No, we don't sell them.
Okay.
It's our gift to nature.
Okay.
A bit like what Remy and Jean do with the ash.
Yeah.
It's Urz's way and our way of giving, and to protect the magic of it all, we just gift them. We do charge postage depending on the situation, sometimes not if it comes with a package. It also depends on how many of these we got. We get a whole bunch and they go pretty quick. So at the moment we've got some, and we can send them off with a purchase, and providing your area hasn't been done and you do it properly, that's all we ask.
And it's for the ocean.
Yeah, this one's for the ocean.
Nice.
We got lots of balls for the creeks, the rivers, the dams, the ponds.
Yeah.
We got heaps of them.
Yeah.
And was a slingshot.
Yeah, cool. And then the other question, oh, it just evaded me. Sorry. No, I'll put my hand back up if I can think of it. Sorry.
Yep. And
Gina?
if anyone's got a question that might think, they sound silly for asking, I was asking lots of silly questions about this stuff, and that's how I learned. Because I picked Urz's brain with all the silly questions.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Feel free to
put it
ask
back up.
something.
Isa, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know my mic wasn't off. Yeah, so what's the lifespan of these devices? Like how long do they last for, and how often would you need to kind of swap them out?
So these ones,
Mm.
they're going to last.
He's talking about the blocks.
Oh, the blocks?
Any of the
Yeah.
devices?
They're all got different lifespans. This one you could get 10 years out of, depending on how you look after it. The cup, if it breaks, you'd have to buy a new one. That's a special cup, by the way. It's an Agnihotra harmonized activated cup, which grounds it. The Orgone beam, you could get 5 to 10 years of that, depending on where it was kept, the condition, but I would say a good 10 years. The 2.0, which is this one here, which goes in the pot, that one you can get 5, 6, 7 years out of it, depending on the conditions of the weather. And same as the mini harmonizer, 5 years. So there's no real, other than cleaning out the tub of the 2.0 behind me, or the mini harmony station, the home harmonizer, you got to keep the water clean, and you got to pour Agnihotra down the tube every couple of weeks, or whenever it's dirty. Could be 3 weeks, could be 4. Other than that, it's set and forget, and just work with your intention. Spray it with water to get all the dust off. So once it's set up, it's not a lot of effort.
Urs was saying that he has one that he's had up for 7 years, and he's only cleaned it 3 times.
Yeah, but we don't want people to get in the habit of not cleaning it, because
yeah.
the more clean they are, the more charged the water is, the more effect you're going to get. It just loses performance if you leave it. Anyone else?
Yes, I'd like to bring to your attention the Frenchman, Joël Ducalion, and his diamond water. I've been working with Orgone and with his diamond water for many years now. The water was tested by a number of health professionals, and they found it of the best quality. You can make it yourself out of a cup of water. You can make a liter. Out of a liter, you make 10 liters, you make 100 liters, you carry on multiplying it. We put it in our tank. It takes care of the toxins. I've looked online, and if you put in his name, I will put it in the chat. You can all inform yourself about this amazing layered water. And if you use that together with your Orgone product, I think you will find it's more than overwhelmingly amazing. I would have poured thousands of liters into our rivers and into the ocean over the last, say, 20 years. And the maker of the water, Joel, said that his wish is that one day this water will come out of every tap in the world.
Nice.
So I've posted it so people can go look it up. Cheers.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, water has amazing capabilities that most people aren't aware of. You know, the way water reacts to negative or anger or love. You can see the structure of it.
Yes.
The crystalline structure and the memory as well. So activated water is a huge part of this. All the devices have activated structured water in them, and working with that as well. So yeah, just by harmonizing your water alone for your own health, it's a huge thing. Ever since I started drinking structured harmonized water, like I literally go 2 hours drive from Sydney to the Blue Mountains. I get my water from a spring, and then I charge it up with a vortexer and the Orgone energy. And I swear that I get information from the water, like I get downloads. I haven't been sick since COVID, since it came out. I got COVID once, and I'm not I don't eat, the best. And I haven't been sick, at all. And I put it down to the water I drink, and the different devices that I've got. But yeah, it's super potent stuff, structure or harmonized water. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I was just going to say that we harmonize our water with an Itera wand.
Yeah.
Does that sort of operate on the same frequencies as your harmonizer?
Yep.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah. It the Orgone energy is slightly different to the water harmonizers and other harmonizers, but it's more focused on the weather and 5G and stagnation, whereas some of the other harmonizers are doing slightly different things. But yeah, it's all connected. It's all great stuff. And yeah, we support all this other stuff too. I've tried to talk to some people in the Orgone business or the Orgonite business or harmonizing business. None of them want to work together. They're all wanting to service themselves, and I'm sure they're doing good things and great work, but the way I see it is, let's work together. Let's feed each other with information. Let's come up with solutions. Let's support each other. Together we can make much more of a difference than on our own. So
yeah.
Remy's in Remy and Jean are in Christchurch. They're going to have some stock in the next month for the Harmony stations. In the meantime, me and Russell have got some stock, and they've got Agnihotra kits and poo and ghee and all information. So you can chat to them Remy and Jean, have you put your contact details on here?
No, I was gonna put my email in here probably, and then you can just reach us through our email address.
Mhm.
This is probably the
Yeah,
most
can you
easy
put it in the chats there?
and also Telegram.
Mhm.
Yeah. And please, if there's any way that anyone can help, it'd be to share the website, share the Telegram group, add your friends to the group. You can see all the installations there. You can see a bunch of waters activated. You can see some evidence. We've got before and afters of the water after activation. We've got before and afters of the grass. We've got a dead tree, which was a stump that had a 3.0 on top. A new tree started growing out of the middle. And what else have I seen? Yeah, I mean, it's visual. It's not just woo-woo. You'll see it. Like if you work with the devices and you're in tune to the subtleties and the clouds and feeling the wind and having your eyes in the sky, you'll see it. It's not just invisible like a lot of things like people can't see crystal energy or orgonite energy. This you can see it because it's with the weather.
Cool.
All right. Do you want to close us off,
Yeah,
Renee?
we can, yeah. Remy, the email hasn't come through yet. Are you still working on it? Oh, okay, you're muted. That's all right.
So
Yeah, I put it in the
thanks
chat now.
everyone for tuning in.
Thank you for coming along.
Any final questions?
Yeah, just to say, I put a link for the diamond water into the chat if you're interested.
Cool, thank you.
Thanks, Gina. Cool. So yeah, I'm just saying thank you then to Brad and Russell and Jean and Remy. And I'm sure we'll do some great stuff. I mean, we haven't really introduced ourselves to you guys. I hope you get some time to check out the nonresident settlor.org. That's our current website. There's some amazing stuff happening. We're basically backing people in all kinds of trouble as a group of people. No legal practitioners allowed or involved. It's man standing up for our own right. So cool. Yeah, if there's no more question, thank you guys.
Oh, Renee, can I ask one thing?
No, not allowed, Amy.
Thanks. I've just happened to be heading to the South Island at the moment, and I'd love to chat further with Remy and his brother, but I can't find their email anywhere here. It could be just my high techness, but I don't know.
I don't think they've shared it yet.
If you get on the Telegram chat, NHS Screen Clean, and you write on there as well, I can send you their email, and they should also see the chat.
Remy's awesome. Remy's just sent it through. Thanks. That's awesome.
Cool.
Okay.
No worries.
Awesome. Remy, I'm going to be in touch too. I would like a session for my Agnihotra setup. Cool. Awesome.
Beautiful.
So cool. Then good night, everyone.
Yep. Thank you so much, you guys, and thank you for organising this for us, Renee. It's been hugely educational. And thank you, and thank everybody that's been on. We've had a lot of people on here tonight, and some very intelligent questions and everything. So hopefully we can do some help on behalf of everybody here to see if we can clean this rubbish out of the air that we've currently got. Although, to be fair, for you guys, I live in Palmerston North, and they've opened the floodgates above us. So we've had thunder, lightning, and it is really bucketing down at the moment. But then it's been looking towards that for the last few days. So no problem. Okay, Renee, I'll pass it over to you or Tracy. whether you want to continue, but I'm picking people have had a fairly good overload of or a loading of information to. I know I've written copious notes here, so I really would like to thank you guys very much, and thank you especially Renee for actually organising this. It's been brilliant.
I'm sure we'll get these guys on again, right?
Absolutely.
Thank God for guys like you.
Thank you for your kind words,
So
everyone.
much.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Thank you again. Thank you for all turning up.
Yep.
Let's change this world.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You.
Yeah, and Renee, you're a legend, mate. Thanks for all your help.
No
Yeah.
worries, man. We'll be in touch. Cool.
All right, see you guys.
All right, night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you later.
Bye. Yeah.
Thank you.
Rightio. So are we going? I mean, that was what the evening was all about, people. And if anybody has any questions, you've all got, Renee, the ability to email any one of us, any of the team members who can hook you up with Renee or some of those people. But there's been a lot of emails put on the chat tonight. And there's also been some really interesting sites that they've put up, which we can have a look at. Very, very interesting stuff. Hugely interesting.
I also wanted to say I'm about to put together an NHS 2, and thanks to Russell for sending me some minerals. And I have not bought a kit, but I'm sourcing stuff myself because we got a bunch of sheep wool sitting around. And so, yeah, if anyone is keen, I'm happy to share what I've learned so far. And there's a treasure trove of information in Osworth's German videos, and I'm happy to. Russell, on that note, if you ever want to translate any of his stuff, we could definitely look into that.
Love that. That'd be awesome. That's what we're sort of missing, that part, because we don't speak German. But
Who are you?
We've just made a video of building one.
Oh, cool! Awesome. Yeah.
It's pretty good. I missed a bit at the end, but I'll redo the end bit, the plastic at the end. But that's being uploaded to the cloud as we speak. So pretty soon during this week, we should be able to share that with you in particular, because you're building one. We're not randomly giving that particular video out. Anyone who buys a kit who wants to build it themselves, they will get it, but you'll get a copy of it.
Oh, thank you.
I'll put a link in for you.
Sure, I'm gonna buy a kit down the line.
Okay, and don't forget, Renee, we have a German lass who's staying on with us. So if you want hands with translation, I'm sure she'd be that sort of person to help.
I just want to share one thing that I got out of Osworth's videos before we close. I ordered myself a bracelet that's cinnabar. Cinnabar is mercury sulfide. Yeah. Mercury is that stuff that they tell us is so toxic and poisonous, but it's also an amazing energy. So what Urs was saying, to activate anyone's thymus gland, your left hand is picking up energy. So with your left hand you receive, and your right hand, if you put your fingertips together while you have that stuff in your hand, you can put it on your thymus gland. He said, be careful though, it can lead to a 2-week detox while your thymus gland is dumping all the shit that it has been dealing with for a while. Usually he says at the age of 27 is when it closes down for most people. So apparently cinnabar is one of those things that can help to reactivate. So I'm just playing with it. If you don't see me for 2 weeks.
The whole world has fallen out of your bottom.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Is Tracy going to share anything from today?
Not sure.
I think there's stuff on the chat if you wish to listen to it, guys. It's really from about 2 hours and 6 minutes in. You really need to listen to the discussion between Tracy and the judge. We could almost call it that, actually, Tracy and the judge. Very, very interesting, but some very good points. But Tracy stood her ground very well. But it does indicate just what we're up against in this wonderful country and the legal system. Okay, it's sadly it is what it is, but it's well worth listening to. Okay, and that's on the international chat for people who wish to get it. But the first part is lots of verbal garbage, blah, blah, noises and everything. But from 2 hours and 6 minutes till the end, that's where all the crunchy stuff is actually happening. And it is definitely well worth listening to.
Okay. Nice.
What's the link to the international chat, Michael?
Where's Reno?
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll put it up.
It's okay, thank you.
It's called Law Council Chat Group. I'll put it up in the chat here. 1 second.
Okay, thanks very much. Thanks very much. It's really cool.
There you go. So if you go on Telegram and look for Law Council Chat Group. See you, Russell. Thank you.
Yep, thank you very much.
Oh, all right. No one wants to go to bed, hey?
Yeah, well, no, I am going to disappear. And I do thank you very much. We've had an outstanding another Thursday night, huge success. And just a reminder, we do genuinely have Sovereign Pete on next Thursday night.
Cool.
Okay, so it's one of those things. Tune in next Thursday night and you'll have Sovereign Pete. And we are looking at trying to do things like this. So it keeps us with some points of difference doing these sort of things on a Thursday night and our normal admin. We've got a couple of wee little changes that we need to do that because we are growing at a phenomenal speed and we need to make sure that we keep growing and everybody gets an opportunity. So there might be a couple of little admin changes just to streamline it a little bit, but it's still the same meeting. Okay. Alrighty. Well, thank you very much, Lee. I will disappear because I'm actually not the host tonight. Renee is, so I know if I leave, you're not all going to disappear. So we'll see you later. I'll go and have a cup of tea with Vivian.
All right.
Well, night, Michael.
See you
Okay,
later.
guys.
Thank you so much, Renee. Right, catch you. Bye.
Good night.
Everyone cool with me closing this down? Yeah, cool. Awesome, guys. You have a good night and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, good night, everybody.
Night, night.